Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well and that you've had a lovely weekend. It was so nice to see the sun again, so I hope you had a chance to enjoy the lovely weather. We're going to get straight into the class. I've got a focus video for you. We're going to focus on into the hips and our hip flexors a little bit in this class. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start with some hip circles. We're going to take your feet just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Keep your knees nice and soft. Let's take our hands on our hips. We're going to start with some really small circles. So keep your knees soft here. And let's think about moving your pelvis. So tipping your pelvis back, tipping it to the side, and then when you bring your hips forward, give your glutes a squeeze. And then let's make these circles a bit bigger. Okay, so knees are soft. And really moving, articulating your pelvis. So bumping your hips to the side. Just imagine you had a hula hoop. Good, we're just going to do a couple more. Good, let's do one more here. Good, we're going to take it round in the other direction now. So let's start small. Okay, so it's all about the hips here. So really moving just your hips. Try to keep your upper body neutral and in the middle, so it's just your hips that are circling round. Okay, squeezing your glutes when you come forward. A little stretch down the front of the thighs into the hip flexors, making these circles a bit bigger. Good, let's do a couple more. Good, we'll come back to the middle. We're going to do some knee circles now. So let's bring your feet just hip width apart. Soften the knees again. We're going to pull in your tummy muscles. We're going to lean over into one leg a little bit more and then plant down into all four corners. So that leg is feeling really grounded. Let's pull your tummy muscles in. Let's start to lift your other heel from the floor now. So find your balance, use your core, and then let's lift this knee a bit higher. So if you can, lifting this knee up to hip height. We're going to hold it here, so you can just have your hands by your sides or on your waist. We're going to do some knee circles out to the side. So you can take this one by a wall if you need to. Let's just loosen off into the hips a little bit more. Maybe lifting your knee a bit higher, taking it out to the side a bit further. Opening up into your hip flexors here. Keep lengthening your spine, so we're using our corset muscles for our balance here as well. Good. Take that leg down. We're going to lean over into this foot now, so planting down all four corners. Pull your tummy muscles in. Let's start to lift this other heel up, so take your time, find your balance, lifting a bit higher. Keep grounding down into that standing leg, and let's do some knee circles with this side. Good, lengthening through, pulling in your belly button here. Maybe lifting your knee a bit higher, taking it a bit wider out to the side. Maybe getting a few clunks going on in the hip. That's okay. Good, let's do one more here. And relax, have a little shake out there, guys. Good job. Let's loosen off our shoulders. So starting with your rolls, we're going to bring the shoulders forward, up, back and down. So really lift them up to your ears. Feel your shoulder blades pinching back together. Okay, let's do one more. And then we'll start to lift your elbows up now. So lifting your elbows up high and wide. Good. Hands onto your shoulders maybe here. Stretching your elbows back. And then let's do some arm circles, big stretch, reach up to the ceiling, open up into your chest. Let's do one more. Lovely, guys. And then just shake it out here. Okay, good. We're going to get into alignment now. So knees are staying soft. Let's get your pelvis into neutral. So tipping back and forth, settling in the middle. Keep your tummy muscles in, relaxing your arms down. And let's inhale now as we shrug your shoulders up to your ears. So helium balloons on. And as you exhale, melt your shoulders as you lengthen into your spine and lengthen into your neck. And then lifting your rib cage up now. Big inhale to lift your ribs, keep them lifted. Exhale as you melt your shoulders and lengthen your spine. Let's bring the shoulders up one last time. And then turning your palms out now. So think about rotating outwards from your shoulders and then let your palms just follow. Good. And then we'll melt your shoulder blades down. Let them slide down your back and flatten into place. Elastoplasty them now. Relaxing your arms by your sides. Good. So let's just shake it out. We're going to make our way down onto the mat now. Just coming down, lying on your back. Okay guys, let's keep your legs bent. So bend in your legs. We'll get into alignment again. So just take a few deep breaths when you get down onto the floor. We'll just start to settle in, just bringing your mind, focusing on your body, that mind and body connection. And then we'll get ourselves into alignment again. So tucking in your chin, just lengthening up into your neck and upper spine. Let's take a nice deep breath in together. And as you exhale, just let the back of your ribs just melt into the ground, really flattening through your upper body. Arms by your sides, palms facing up. Sliding your arms out, just enough to let your shoulder blades flatten out. Okay, so upper body is really settled down into the floor. Let's get the pelvis into neutral. So isolate your pelvis, we'll tip back and forth, making each move smaller and smaller, settling round about the middle. Good, so just a very slight space that we're holding through our lumbar spine. Feet and knees hip width apart, and let's keep our weight evenly spread out into all four corners of each foot. So our feet are feeling really grounded. So let's go through the breathing. So let's inhale, taking your breath into the sides of your rib cage. And as you exhale, let's pull each side of your rib cage in towards each other across the body. And inhale. Exhale to pull across your rib cage, and now flatten your tummy muscles down, so belly button to your spine without pressing down through your lower back. And let's inhale, so into the sides of your body. Exhale to pull across your ribs, flatten your tummy muscles and pull across the front of your hip bones as well now, as if your hip bones could pull into the middle, lower abdominals. So putting this all together now, let's inhale. And as you exhale, lace your corset now. So ribs, abdominals, pulling across your hip bones. And then inhale again when you're ready. Just take a few breaths now in your own time. So waking up our corset muscles, that mind and body connection. But we're asking our arms, legs and shoulders to be really relaxed and just isolating our corset muscles into our core. Lovely guys, so we're going to start off with some floppy leg lifts. So we're going to bring our heels a bit closer in towards our body, just an inch or two closer, keeping the feet and knees hip width apart, pelvis into neutral, ribs are still down. We're going to start with single legs, so as we lift our leg, we're going to relax from our knee down and just let that part of our leg be really dangly, just floppy and hanging from your thigh as your thigh lifts. So I'm going to talk you through it. So let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset, so ribs, abdominals, pull across your hip bones, and let's slowly start to lift one leg. So as your leg lifts, from your knee down, just let that part of your leg become really floppy and relaxed, as if your calf could just touch the back of your thigh. And we're lifting up until your knee is coming above your hip. Okay, and it'll be at a right angle now with your upper body. Inhale again at the top. Exhale, lace your corset. Keep your leg really relaxed as you slowly lower your foot. So take your time, pulling across your hip bones, holding your pelvis steady. Good, it's quite a small move. We're going to change legs. Let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset. So let's begin to lift the other leg up now. Take your time, not letting your pelvis wobble. Really relaxing your legs. So if you relax your foot, this just helps to switch off those lower leg muscles. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lace your corset. Slowly lowering down without letting your lower back arch. Keep pressing everything into neutral. So let's keep that going now, just with single legs, switching legs each time. Lacing your corset before you lift, and again before you lower. Okay, so the reason I've chosen these floppy leg lifts for our hip focus is because our leg is really relaxed, it's quite a lot of effort on the hip flexors to lift our thigh. Because our leg is quite a heavy weight, now that we're relaxing the lower leg, as opposed to if you think about our tabletop legs, obviously our leg muscles are doing a little bit more of the work. With these floppy legs, the hip flexors have to work a bit harder to lift your leg up. So you might be feeling those hip flexors kicking in as well, but it is really good for strengthening them. Good, so as your leg lifts, try to keep the back of your hips feeling even, making sure that one side doesn't feel heavier than the other. Taking the weight of this leg into your core. And we're also using our lower abdominals quite a bit as well. So really focusing on our hip bones tightening together here with these lifts. We're going to make this your last one now. Okay, good. Let's hug both knees up. Have a little stretch out there for your lower back, rocking side to side. Holding at the back of your thighs. Okay, let's add in the arms as well now. So let's take our feet back down, heels a bit closer. That's just so we can try to relax our leg as soon as it leaves the floor. It's a bit easier if the heels are closer in. Okay, so pelvis into neutral. We're going to bring both arms up now. So palms turned in, let's melt the shoulders down. Arms slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Okay, tucking in your chin. So let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset. So as we lift one leg, let's float both arms overhead now. So taking your time, lifting your leg, your arms are travelling back, stopping when your knee is above your hip, relaxing your foot. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset, really relax your arms and your shoulders. So slowly bringing your foot down as we float your arms in. Okay, good. We're going to change legs when you're ready. Let's keep that going. So as the arms float back now, let's actively press the back of our ribs into the floor. Feeling your muscles in between your rib cage kicking in now. Just strengthening through our upper core. Using those muscles to hold our spine in alignment, not let our back arch. Okay, really relaxing your legs still. Switching off all those lower leg muscles. Lovely guys, making this your last. Good. Bringing your arms down when you're finished. And then let's hug one knee up into your chest when you're ready. Press your lower back into the floor. Straighten your other leg out. Let your foot relax out to the side and then slide this leg out a little. So into your psoas muscles, stretch. We're going to hold it and just relax. So keep pressing your lower back down. And just let your foot relax out, soften into your hip. Breathe into this stretch. Good, and then maybe if you want to get a little bit deeper, you can take your knee out to the side, just an inch or two, but press the back of your hips down. Okay, you should really feel that now, just a little bit more into the hip. Good, and then let's give your glutes a good squeeze. So squeeze your bum cheek, relax, keep letting your foot just turn out. Just let those muscles soften a little bit more by contracting those big muscles in the back of the leg. Good, and relax there. Let's bring that leg back in. Hug it up into your chest. We're going to change legs now. So pressing down through your lower back, slide your other leg out. Let your foot flop out to the side, sliding your leg out a little until you feel that stretch. So keep this knee hugged in, lower back imprinted down to the floor. Keep breathing, just relax into it. Good, taking your knee out a little if you want to get a bit deeper. Press the back of your hips into place. And then squeeze in your glutes. Keep breathing, let the front of your thigh just really soften. Good, and relax. Let's bring that leg back in. A little stretch again, rocking out your back. Let's take the feet back down. We're going to progress these floppy leg lifts. So this time we'll bring your first leg up, we'll keep it lifted. We'll bring the second leg up, first leg down, followed by your second leg. So taking it back to singles at any point if this feels a bit too much for you tonight or today. So heels are coming closer in. Let's settle your pelvis, flatten your ribs down, palms facing up. Okay, so let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset, ribs, abdominals, pull across your hip bones. Let's begin to lift our first leg up, so take your time, relaxing your lower leg, just let your calf just touch the back of your thigh almost, if it can, just really floppy. So keeping that leg lifted, let's make sure the back of our hips are feeling even here. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset, and let's slowly lift our second leg up. So flatten your tummy muscles. Let's keep holding on to our neutral pelvis, so maybe pressing back into neutral a bit more now. Good. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset, and we'll slowly lower our first leg back down, relaxing your shoulders. Keep it really slow, tightening across your hips. Good, and then inhale, exhale, lace your corset as we bring your second leg down on its own. And starting your next move on that leg you've just brought down. Let's do a couple of these now. Good. Okay, so just being really mindful now that we're lifting both legs up. We're not bringing our knees too close. If they're too close, you'll feel your lower back resting on the floor. So we do want that little bit of a space there. So maybe just taking your knees a bit further away if you're feeling that. And you'll start to feel the hip flexors working quite a bit more now. The weight of both legs. Just checking in with your upper body once in a while, making sure your ribs are still flat, your back isn't lifting or your shoulders. Tucking in your chin. Lovely guys, let's do one more here. And then just relax when you're ready. Bring your knees up. Just relax out into your lower back, maybe rocking your knees round in a circle, one way and then the other. That feels comfortable. Okay, good. So we've got one last move now in this sequence. So we're going to be starting with both legs lifted, still floppy legs. We'll bring one leg down and then lift that same leg back up, and then we'll change legs, we'll lower and then we'll lift, and we'll keep that going. So now we're not really getting a rest in between our moves, so building that strength up a little bit more. So you can take it back to singles, you can just do single legs up and down if this feels too much at any point, or you can hug your knees in and have a stretch whenever you need to. We're going to start by getting the legs lifted one at a time. So get into position, heels a bit closer in. Okay, flattening your upper body down, tucking in your chin. So let's inhale, exhale, lace your corset as we bring your first leg up. So taking the weight of this leg as soon as your foot leaves the mat, relaxing your foot. Let's keep that leg lifted now. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset. We'll slowly bring our second leg up now. Good. Flattening down. Let's make sure that our spine is in neutral still. This is going to be our starting point, so just make sure your knees are not too close, not too far away. Okay, just finding that neutral pelvis position. So keep your corset laced now. Hold on to your abdominals, your lower abdominals. We're going to keep our breath into the sides of our ribs so we don't lose our corset down here. Let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset as we slowly lower one foot down now. So don't let your back arch or your pelvis tip forward. Good. Inhale. Exhale, lace your corset. Lift that same leg back up to your starting point. And then we'll change legs. So when you're ready, lacing your corset, bringing your other leg down really slowly. Take your time, tightening across your muscles. And then inhale, exhale, lace your corset, lifting that leg back up. Let's do a few on each side. Okay, good. So still relaxing your leg. Both legs are really floppy and relaxed here. Be feeling the strength building up into your hip flexors. You might feel them starting to really work now. Keep tightening across your hip bones. Imagine your hip bones pulling in together. Okay guys, let's make this your last move. Keeping both legs lifted if you can. We're going to try to bring both legs down together now, or you can lower them down one at a time. Okay, so relax your shoulders now. Let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset. We'll slowly bring both feet down together, pressing your pelvis back in neutral. Relaxing your shoulders, tightening across your hips. And breathe. Well done. Hug your knees up. Stretch it out. Lovely guys, let's take it into a stretch now for the hip flexors. We're going to roll round onto your side and then bring it onto the hands and knees. We're going to take it into our pigeon stretch. So this stretch isn't for everybody. I'll show you an alternative if you're not quite into this one. We're going to start on the hands and knees, just like we would in 4-point. Okay, so knees are coming under your hips, and your hands are coming under your shoulders. We're going to slide your left knee forward, so bring it forward quite a bit, and then slide your right knee further back. So left knee forward, right knee back. And then take your left foot and slide it in front of your right knee. So if you don't have enough room, you might need to slide your right knee further back if your foot can't get in front of your knee. So now your left foot is just slotted on the outside of your right knee. So from here, let's bring it down onto your forearms. Okay, so this is a stretch for inside this hip on the left. If you're not feeling this stretch quite here yet, take your right knee, slide it further back, and then just let your upper body sink down to the floor. Okay, so sometimes this stretch can be uncomfortable for you if it doesn't feel so good for your knees, then don't do this one. I'll show you an alternative. So you can roll onto your side if this doesn't feel good for your knees. But if you are here, you can just gently rock your hips very slowly side to side, and you should feel that stretch increasing at some point. So when you really start to feel that stretch, just stop and try to relax into it. It can be quite a tight stretch, this one. We're trying to get into your piriformis muscle, one of your hip flexors. It sits kind of diagonally within the hip. It's a small muscle, but quite important for supporting our hips, and if it's tight it can lead to a lot of problems in our lower back. So we're going to hold it here. Okay, just breathe into that stretch. Now if you're not feeling this stretch, you can do an alternative stretch by taking it onto your back and keeping your legs bent, and then if you can, taking your left foot and just popping it on top of your knee, on top of your thigh. Okay, and then if you're not feeling it here, you can bring your right foot a bit closer into your body. So we're trying to open up into the hip. And if you're still not feeling it, you can also just hold behind your thigh here of your right leg. And if you're still not feeling it here, you can use one hand to push your left knee a bit further away from your body. So it's not quite the same stretch, but we are getting into our hips, but more the glutes, but it'll still feel really nice for opening up into your hip. Okay, so just relax into it, whichever stretch that you're doing here. We're going to hold it for 10 more seconds, so just breathe into it, guys. Okay, good. And then to get out of this one, if you're on your back, just untangle your leg. If you're on your front, just come up onto your hands. Slide your right leg in, and then you can unhook your foot. Okay, so we're going to do the other leg now. So sliding your right knee forward this time, left knee sliding back. Pop in your right foot on the outside of your left knee. Coming down onto the forearms, and then sliding your left leg a bit further back if you're still not feeling this stretch. And then just let your chest and upper body just melt down. So you can use your pillow here if you want a bit of neck support. Maybe just gently rocking side to side until you find that stretch, and then hold and just relax into it. Good, so just let go of any tension that you're holding in your hips. We do hold quite a lot of tension or stress in our hips, and sometimes when we just tell our hips to really relax, we realise how much we were kind of gripping and holding on into that area. So just breathe in, maybe exhaling, letting everything soften and relax. Guys, good. So just getting yourself out of this stretch now. So coming up onto your hands, sliding your left leg in, untangling yourself, and then let's go straight back into child pose. So sitting your bum back, take your arms out and your head down. Use your pillow if you need to. It's just finding what's comfortable in child pose for you. So you get more of a stretch in the lower back if your knees are closer together. So maybe that feels nice for you today. You can hold it there for a few seconds. And just letting everything relax a bit more as you exhale. Good, and then maybe bringing your legs a bit further apart now, your knees a bit further, but toes are staying together. Let's push our bum right back on your ankles. Maybe taking your arms out straight this time if that feels nice, and just keeping your hands a bit further forward as you push back on your ankles. Okay, lovely guys, we're going to finish off with our shoulder bridge. Okay, so let's roll round onto our backs. Just taking your pillow away for this one. You're going to bring your heels a bit closer in. Okay, arms down, palms facing up. Settle our pelvis into neutral, heels closer in. Let's start with our preparation move. So let's inhale. Exhale and lace your corset as we tip your pelvis all the way back now. So pressing down firmly through your lower spine. And then inhale, coming back to neutral. Let's keep that going. So lacing your corset as you tip all the way back. And then inhale to come into neutral again. I'll let you do a couple. Lovely guys, we're going to lift up into the full bridge this time. So on your next exhale, tipping your pelvis back and then start to peel your tailbone up. Peeling your spine away like a piece of Velcro from the mats. So let's keep our weight spread out in all 4 points of each foot. And lift it up until you have your slope now, if you can, from your knees down to your shoulders. Let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset, keep tipping your pelvis back and lay your spine back down. So working from the top of your spine down to the bottom. Your lower back is making contact with the floor, and then your tailbone right at the end. Good, let's keep that going. So let's tuck in our chin as we lift up into our bridge, let your neck lengthen. Really focusing on your hips, so keeping your pelvis really tipped back, and that's what's going to give you that lovely articulation and movement into your lower spine especially. But we are working all the muscles in our hips and pelvis as well. Okay guys, let's make this your last one now. Okay, good, you can have your pillow back behind your head when you're finished. Let's take it into our lovely Z stretch to finish off this class. So arms are coming out wide, bending your elbows if you need to. Let's open up into our chest muscles. Let's cross your right leg over your left, or bring your feet and knees just in together if that's more comfortable for your hip. And then we'll slowly take the knees over to your left, and then as your knees travel over, just let your shoulder blades pull back against the floor and just really relax into this one. So just let all the tension go in your hips. Relax into your lower back. Let your thighs just melt to the floor. Breathe in deeply here. If you want to get a bit deeper, you can take your left hand and gently pull the outside of your thigh just a bit closer to the floor. Get more of a stretch down the side of your body and maybe into your chest muscles, feeling that a bit more as well. Good, Good, and then pressing down into your lower back, pushing your knees up. Let's cross the other leg over, and we'll slowly tip over to your right this time. So pulling back against the floor through your shoulders, turning your head to your left hand, holding there, just letting everything go and relax and melt into the stretch. And then if you want to, you can just gently pull the outside of your thigh a bit closer to the floor with your right hand. Lovely, guys. Pressing your lower back down, push your knees up. Let's finish off with a full body stretch. So both legs out straight, both arms overhead. Point your toes and fingers. Give your abdominals a really good stretch. Oh, we've got a yawn coming on. The stretch always makes me yawn. So point your toes and fingers here. Maybe give your glutes a squeeze. Get a good stretch into your hip flexors and your lower abdominals a bit more. Maybe do that a few times. Good. And relax. Great, guys. So that's the end of this focus class. I really hope you enjoyed it. Just mixing it up, and was quite fun putting a couple of nice stretches in for our hips. So hopefully the hips are feeling nice and yummy and loosened off now. So yeah, I'll see you next week, guys, for a new video. Enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining. Bye.